Good morning, Roll Gang, and welcome on in to another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. It is time for a Strain Review Tuesday. Here on this Terpene Tuesday episode of the show, I am so excited to have the opportunity to smoke this Triple G from Virtue here on the show. And I am going to be giving this strain a score out of 100 on the RSRS, the Rolling Spoon Rating Scale, taking into account the pre-smoke judgment, which is like the bag appeal, the flavor, the ash color, and the throat hit, of course, the smack of the strain. And then also the burn time. We got a whole bunch of factors to judge about this Triple G by Virtue. Here to judge on the Weekday Wake and Bake this beautiful Tuesday morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So really excited to dive on into this Strain Review Tuesday. Shout out everybody tuning in to this episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Until next week, Roll Gang, I have officially decided that I am going to start doing the show at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern, so that I can get a little bit more sleep after my job. I worked till midnight last night, 12:15, I think, clock out, so just over 5 hours of sleep, and it just isn't sustainable. So I am going to move the show to 9 a.m. in the morning because, you know, we have awoke, so now we must smoke. But I am going to awake a little bit later from now on, Roll Gang. I really appreciate everybody tuning in and being so lenient. I am absolutely in love with the Roll Gangsters and coming on to Wake and Bake with you guys. Just gotta make it possible. So without further ado, let's check out this Virtue Triple G. We've got in this one 8 milligrams limonene, 4 milligrams myrcene, and 3.5 milligrams caryophyllene. So really pumped. Let's break on into this strain. What do you guys think? Wow. Holy shit. It kind of smells like grape. Super musky. Definitely major kush smell, but the myrcene, there is a little bit of a fruity flavor to it. I am really excited to smoke this. Good Lord. Look at this beautiful nug of Triple G by Virtue. Really fucking pumped to smoke this. Give it a strain review out of 100 on the RSRS, the Rolling Spoon Rating Scale. And fuck yeah, Roll Gang. We about to make it happen. So before we smoke up this Triple G by Virtue here on the Weekday Wake and Bake, major shout outs to the sponsors of the show because they make this show possible and help out the Roll Gang along the way. First and foremost, the first cannabis college in the world, Amsterdam University. 15 years running, ladies and gentlemen. My proud alma mater is the place to go to learn about this unbelievable plant and this budding industry. If you're looking to get a job in this field, in this brand new field of cannabis, then Amsterdam University is the best place to go to boost your knowledge on this amazing plant and learn about cannabis horticulture, cannabis compliance, learn from police officers and lawyers that have been representing cannabis brands and clients for, decades. And we got legendary growers teaching the classes like Ed Rosenthal and Jeff Jones. Unbelievable professors, knowledge, and school in general. So go to Oaksterdam University, get 10% off your cannabis industry tuition with promo code Rolling Spoon. One word, Rolling Spoon, get you 10% off your tuition for your home grow class or your cannabis business class. So hop on over to Oaksterdam University and claim your stake in this budding industry today. And also this episode is brought to you by the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool, helping me to roll a dime every time. So it's really important in the strain review segments that we get an evenly rolled joint, because if the joint isn't rolled properly, then the strain isn't going to get an accurate judgment. So I use my rolling spoon to ensure that I get the same uniform roll for all of my strain reviews, and we can give each strain the proper judgment that it deserves. So first, the bag appeal for the Triple G by Virtue. I really enjoyed the smell. So what goes into the pre-smoke judgment out of 5 is the aroma, coloration, density, and structure. So I really loved the aroma of the Triple G. It was my favorite part of the bag appeal of this strain. It definitely has better nose than nug structure, or it has solid coloration for sure, but it doesn't look all too exotic. It's probably a very standard looking strain, standard coloration, a couple orange pistils throughout. The little orange furs are called pistils on the cannabis plant, and there are a bunch of really orange pretty pistils, but the density just isn't too dense. The nug structure in general is actually a little bit loose, and I picked out one of the bigger nugs to smoke this morning because the top was falling off of it. So nug structure leaving a little bit to be desired, and coloration's pretty normal. I'm going to give it a solid 3 out of 5 on the pre-smoke judgment, roll gang. Gotta be honest and genuine here with all these strains. 3 out of 5 still means really nice cannabis on the RSRS. Like basically average fire. If I'm hating on the strain, if it's 2 or 1, then it's probably outdoor or some kind of less well-grown cannabis. But for the legal market here in Nevada, this is a 3 out of 5 on the pre-smoke judgment. Really solid on the nose, but the nug structure and the density leaves a bit to be desired. And whenever a nug is less dense, it leaves the opportunity for it to be less potent than the nugs that were tested. If the nug that was tested was a super dense hardball nug, that nug will test higher and be more potent than the rest of the batch. So you have to watch out for numbers, roll gang. They're very, very deceiving. All of the THC percentage and terpene numbers. You never know what's really going to taste good or smoke good until you smoke it. So that's why the pre-smoke judgment is only worth 20% of the grade. Bag appeal does matter because, we all love a sexy nug with hella sex appeal in the coloration and the nug structure. But This is a very satisfying aroma, and I'm really excited to smoke it. Virtue does such a great job on cultivation. My favorite strain in the city is their Diamond Dust, so I was really pumped when I got this Triple G from the boy Zach Brangman to try on the show. Gotta give a shout out to the Planet over Planet 13 Medizin dispensary. Come and see me over at Medizin. If you're in Las Vegas, I would love to see you tonight, 4 to midnight. I work over at Medizin, the classic and favorite local dispensary. We have hella deals every single day, so roll through and come get your deals from your processor. Ask the front desk lady for me to hook you, for Sam to get you your cannabis. Sam is your bud tender. But anyways, let's spark this baby up. We got a 3 out of 5 on the bag appeal, but I have a feeling this baby is going to smoke way better than it looks. So without further ado, shout out Oaksterdam and the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Toll for helping me roll this dime, just like every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, about to be 9 a.m. We're going to start that up next week, though, on Monday. But let's blast off. Let me get the flavor while it's just freshly sparked. Interesting. It's sour. It's definitely sour, like sour D. It doesn't taste like gas, though. Ooh, it is potent. Good Lord. 28% THC. Good Lord, what a wake and bake. So let's give you guys the flavor profile. We got like a very subtle flavor, subtly fruity, pretty fucking sour, honestly, and like tangy. It tastes like a Kush. The original super high caryophyllene coming through on the smoke for sure. We got 3.5 milligrams caryophyllene. The limonene really isn't coming through as strong. The 8 milligrams limonene. Yeah, I'm not getting too much citrus. The fruit that I'm actually getting in flavor is grape. Very, very subtle. Not as loud as in pre-smoke judgment, the aroma, but the flavor is definitely, it's not a bad flavor, but it is extremely subtle. On the flavor judgment, out of 5 being the creme de la creme, 4 is delicious, 3 is good, 2 is meh. So on the flavor judgment, I'm between either, it's not delish. Like, it doesn't smack with terpenes or flavor. But it's definitely a good taste. Like, it's definitely a satisfying taste. I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5 again, Roll Gang. It really is, you have to be elite to score over a 3. It has to be somewhat of a shocking flavor, or at least extremely prevalent. If it's a prevalent flavor, like I hit it and I can tell instantaneously that it's a glue strain or a punch strain, it's going to get a 4 or a 5 on the flavor. But this subtly cushy, definitely sour flavor, very satisfying. It's not there. It's a little bit over average. So a 2 out of 5 would be considered an average flavor. So we're going to give it a 3 out of 5, meaning good flavor on this Triple G by Virtue. Really enjoying the flavor this morning on the Wake and Bake. So the next rating is for ash color, a determination that can tell you how clean and well cured your cannabis has been grown and managed. So major factors, ash color. What color does it burn down to? Well, Roll Gang, we got a pretty nice light color, that light gray look. Can you see that light gray ash color? It's really clean. You know, it definitely tastes and smokes super clean. Virtue, one of the best hydroponic growers in the world. I absolutely love their Diamond Dust. This one's clearly not quite up to the level of Virtue's Diamond Dust, but the ash color is still super clean. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, which denotes it cumulus cloud color. So a 5 would be, whipped cream white. A 4 would be the cumulus cloud. A 3 is the light gray. This one is definitely whiter than light gray. You can see that coloration is definitely really light. 4 out of 5. Some of the cleanest grown smoke in the city, no doubt. Triple G's burning just like all the other Virtue strains in that regard. One of my favorite clean smokes. So the last factor that we have to rate during our smoke here on the Weekday Wake and Bake strain review segment with Triple G by Virtue is throat hit. So how satisfying is the throat rip? So it did make me cough. It did make me cough early in the smoke. It took a second to let my body get accustomed to this rip, but it is so smooth. A smooth smack, honestly exactly what you're looking for on a throat rip. That super potent feel, filling. It doesn't feel too smooth so that it's not potent. And it doesn't feel so harsh that it's not clean grown. It's the perfect balance right in between. Made me cough a little bit just to clean out the throat, but I've been good since. Gotta keep lighting it because shit, I love to yap here on the Wake and Bake, but really, really solid throat hit. I love the feeling that it gives me whenever I inhale. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 on the throat rip. It's exactly what you want. I can't dock this Triple G a point in the throat rip department. I've been pretty tough on it so far. It's an extremely good strain. This weed is definitely elite. Whenever I give it the score out of 100, I'm gonna go real quick into the scale and what strains are elite, top shelf, mids, and so on. So we got a 3 on the pre-smoke judgment. We got a 3 on the flavor, a 4 on the ash color, and a 5 on the throat hit. So the last judgment before we get on into score tallying mode is the definitive judgment section. So the factors that we couldn't control and how much they came through in your smoke, such as the THC percentage, the terpenes that are in the mix, and the burn time. So I'm getting a skewed burn time because of how many times I'm having to relight it. But that is a Wake and Bake classic. Happens every weekday morning. Processor joint going out. But I'm definitely satisfied with the burn time. We got a good amount of joint left to smoke after really burning it down trying to judge the strain. Definitely satisfied with the burn time. 28% THC, 28.6, so pushing 29. Trace amounts of CBN. We got 8 milligrams limonene, 3.8 milligrams myrcene, and 3.5 milligrams of caryophyllene. Anyone who's wondering why I'm pronouncing the terpenes like that, I looked them up on Merriam-Webster in some of the ways I was saying them, and most people say them are wrong. So limonene and caryophyllene coming through in this smoke. You know, 8 milligrams limonene, and I'm really not getting it at all. Normally, you'll at least get a smooth, cool, tropical, maybe sometimes not even tropical, just fruity or sweet vibe in your smoke. I'm getting a very subtle grape, which is leading me to think I'm getting some myrcene flavor in this smoke. Myrcene tastes like mangoes, but commonly also can taste like grapes depending on which type of myrcene is in your smoke. The caryophyllene, definitely caryophyllene coming through in the throat rip, in the nose, the little spice, the tingle. Really enjoy the terpene mix on this Triple G by Virtue. The THC percentage, 29%. It's definitely getting me there. Like, definitely an ultra potent strain. And like I said, I am satisfied with the burn time. You know, there could be, so how the definitive judgments works is out of 20, I can give it a detailed rating anywhere I want. You know, 20 out of 20 would be perfect. 15 out of 20 would be like a 4 out of 5. And due to the fact that the limonene is the highest testing terp and it didn't really come through, I'm not going to give it a 20. We're going to go with a 17 here on the Weekday Wake and Bake. The terpenes could have come through more on the flavor, in my opinion. This is like a really bomb standard Kush. You know, Triple G. I'm really not sure what the genetics are, but if you're looking for that standard, old, reliable high, Triple G sounds like a great option for you. Absolutely loving just imbibing on this quick joint here on the Wake and Bake. So as we tally up the score, so each 5 is worth 20 points, each 4 is worth 15, and each 3 is worth 10 this morning. So the 3 points for the pre-smoke judgment, the bag appeal section for 10 points. The flavor 3 is another 10 points. Add it up, make it 20. And then we got a 4 on the ash color, which is 15, bringing us up to 35. And the 5 out of 5 throat rip, bringing us up to, so we're at 10, 20, 35, 55 is the score after the post-smoke judgment, the post-spark judgment. And the 17, add in 17 for the definitive judgment segment that we just completed. And we are looking at a final score of 72 out of 100. And scoring between 70 and 80 classifies this strain, rightfully so, top shelf. You know, 100 to 90 is world class. Very rarely happens. The Diamond Dust actually did score in the world class category. Diamond Dust by Virtue. The 90 through 80 is a completely elite strain. And then 80 through 70 is considered, you know, high-end, top-shelf cannabis. So this 72 out of 100 is actually an A, an astounding, resounding success for Triple G by Virtue, growing the fire very often over at their hydroponic cultivation. It has been an absolute pleasure breaking it down and smoking it with the Roll Gangsters here this Terpene Tuesday strain review segment of the Weekday Wake and Bake. Absolutely loved this Triple G by Virtue. Major shout out to Virtue Squad. Come and grab some Triple G from me at Medicine Dispensary over on Decatur in 215. 4 p.m. to midnight, I will be there. I would love to sell you guys some Triple G by Virtue for you to try on your own, maybe while you watch back the show. But anyways, shout out to Oaksterdam University, the first ever cannabis college and the place to go to claim your stake in this budding industry. Use promo code Rolling Spoon for 10% off your tuition. One word, Rolling Spoon. The original cannabis multi-tool helping you to get tuition on your cannabis education, as well as roll a dime every time. So, for Virtue's Triple G and your Processor Sky, another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake in the books. We are going to be changing the time from 8 a.m. Pacific time every weekday morning to 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It is going to be a whole new shift next week, Roll Gang. Shifting the world a whole hour because I have to get a little bit more sleep. I'm sure you guys can tell I'm a little bit tired here on the show recently, and it's a little bit harder to get guests on the show. So, gotta pivot, gotta be adaptable. We're gonna try 9 a.m., noon Eastern every weekday morning, and I will love to see you guys, absolutely love to wake and bake with y'all. But tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time is the midweek mailbag. So make sure you submit your questions. Hop on real quick, answer your questions on the show for the Roll Gang. Any cannabis industry questions or personal questions, juicy questions, you name it, we got it here on the Weekday Wake and Bake. Love you guys, everybody tuning in. Appreciate you so much, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Mwah!